Traditional marriage. It is disappearing, or is it? A lot of people think it is, and that takes us to our discussion on this week's legal video blog. Gal up in Canada, Veronica is her name. She's attending University of Ottawa Law School, and she wrote a legal thesis in her legal studies that is proposing a brand new approach to marriage. She suggests here in Canada we have an awful lot of people who are just living together. They're not getting married. And then we have kids born out of wedlock and all kinds of issues that arise. We need to deal with that, and she is suggesting that there be a renewable marriage contract. Renewable marriage contract. Basically, you have two people that get together. They sign a contract after negotiating all aspects of their, quote, marriage, and the contract can be for a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever, and at the end of that, they can say adios, or they can say we're going to renew the contract on the terms that we previously entered, or on a brand new term. So, can this work? Well, it can, provided there are certain elements that are in place. One, you've got to have two people who are over the age of consent. In most U.S. states, that's got to be over 18 years of age. You've got to have two people who are mentally competent. You've got to have two people who are also not being subjected to undue influence or pressured by somebody else, either one or the other, or by relatives or anybody else. In short, that it's a freely, volitionally entered contract. And then you really have to have a disclosure of assets by both these people so that they know that when new assets come to them as they are living together, that those assets will be dealt with in a way that's fair to them pursuant to the terms of the contract. In short, a lot of things to consider. But you know, basically marriage is really about two things. It's about property and children. Another thing the contract has to consider, what happens if a child comes into this relationship or multiple children come into the relationship? Well, if properly structured and if properly drafted, this kind of an agreement actually could become enforceable in the majority of the U.S. states. Will people want to do this? Will people want to enter such an agreement? Well, there are arguments on both sides. One is yes, because now we have some certainty as to where a relationship is going. On the other side, well, it's not romantic. This isn't what our relationship is about. But then again, what is marriage about? As I say, property and children. Is this going to happen? Are people going to try this? Well, you can talk to Veronica up there in Canada because she and her partner are entering into such an agreement, such a contract, which will terminate, and then they will have an opportunity to consider whether they want to continue. All right, we bring you this story as we bring you stories every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.